You officially ruined my life again.
Dirty dumpage, guys. Exactly as we talked about in yesterday's entire video at pullback coming for Bitcoin, it was very clear that the $16,000 level was going to permit Bitcoin to actually fall a little bit lower. So we're going to be talking about exactly what our targets to the downside are in today's video and how volatile and how quick we expect this pullback to be. Remember, we talked about this basically the entirety of yesterday's video, so we're going to be talking about some of those targets and other ones as well. But most importantly, is this the final significant pullback that we could get before Bitcoin does end up approaching 16, 17, 18 plus thousand US dollars per Bitcoin? And we will be talking about these 4 on-chain metrics that are suggesting a price rally may not stop at 16,000. This was posted by Joseph Young 4 hours ago, so it may be outdated, but we do want to look at these 4 on-chain metrics that will eventually push Bitcoin past 16 and 17,000 US dollars once we do get the pullback that we were talking about. Welcome back, moist men and wet women, guys. We have a lot to be jumping into in this jive-isode. We're getting a dump exactly like we talked about yesterday, and we're going to play you some clips from yesterday's video to show you those targets first. There are some extremely critical levels on these charts that we're going to be talking about because, guys, as anticipated, there is going to be a pullback most likely. However, I think it is extremely likely that we take a look at some of these levels of support, because when there's pumps, there's dumps, and when there's dumps, there's pumps. The next level we're looking for roughly is about that 14,000 US dollar level. As well, that 14,000 would be kind of a retest of this 6-month ascending channel, kind of right around this level here. Absolutely wild. So as well, we do got to cover some of these new updated targets and just take a look at how quickly Bitcoin's price is swinging to the downside. Because, guys, as we talked about yesterday, I mean, this was super expected. We actually traded sideways for multiple 4-hour candles, kind of on a downward trend, but for the most part, within the same exact price range for hours and hours and hours before getting this dump. So again, this was highly anticipated, and we're just going to be looking at what targets you have to watch for. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get updated when we upload absolutely jaw-breaking videos like this. And as well, guys, to enter for this ledger, let's hit 1,300 likes in this webisode. I'll be giving away this ledger, equivalent BTC or T4 in the next webisode. Guys, huge. So let's actually jump onto this chart here. This is a very key level. We're only less than 48 hours until we get a weekly close here with Bitcoin. So what do we want to look for on a weekly close? Obviously, we want to get anywhere above 14,000 minimum, right? Very similar to last week's candle where we closed. But most importantly, guys, look at this weekly candle so far. With this dump, it's actually pretty much erased half of the gains so far of this week just with this quick dump. So what we were talking about yesterday was this wick up to right about 16, and we basically were saying when we were trading in this area that, yeah, this looks like a dump. It looks as though we just pumped so much that it's very likely we're going to get a pullback. So one of the things we want to look for, obviously, is holding 14,000 as support. That's a level you can see on this chart as well, the 6-month ascending channel. Coming back to this level and kind of trading around this range here is something we want to watch for. And as well, 13.5 is something I'm eyeing up first, but I think 14 at this rate not hold in the short term, right? And that's why I said I wanted to update the targets from yesterday. I think 13.5 is actually looking really good as well. Switch to this chart, even this key area down here, 13.5, right? This is a very key level that we trade at for a while. This blue line, so again, that's right what I'm eyeing up, and it's basically exactly right where this 21-day moving average is as well. You can see it on both these charts. About 13,470, so yeah, about 13,500. Okay, and as you can see, guys, as I'm recording this, it's still dropping pretty drastically. So again, yesterday's call was pretty good that we were obviously going to drop because we just had a massive pump, and when you have giant quick pumps like that, usually you also do have quick reactionary dumps. It basically always happens. It just repeats over and over and over, especially after such a strong few weeks in a row here. You're not going to have multiple strong, very strong upward trending price action and then followed by over $1,000 daily candle and just keep going up, right? But ultimately as well, what we were talking about is on the weekly chart. Eventually, and I don't think we're going to come down to it just yet. I think we're probably going to find support around the 13.5 more likely than not before eventually kind of trading sideways and heading up over the next week or so. But ultimately, we are going to have another pullback down to this 21-week moving average. And again, I don't think it's going to be very soon, but I think within the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks at the earliest. Again, I think the 21-week is going to be a very key level that we're going to retest over and over and over again. But I think the momentum is really strong right now, and we're getting a very strong pullback, and I think that is going to continue. I just don't think we're going down to $11,000 this week, right? I think we're going to come back down to this 21-week moving average after it has moved up a little bit, maybe at the lowest even around like that $12,000 level, but I just think that it's a little too early for the 21 week, and I'm just looking more at these charts on these shorter term levels here, definitely like the 13.5. SPX is actually still doing pretty well, exactly like we talked about yesterday within this pattern here, not actually dumping whatsoever. So this is Bitcoin seemingly more. Ethereum is actually down just as much as Bitcoin. But what we actually saw over the last day, last 24, 48 hours as well, was altcoins were pumping a lot. And again, that's another surefire indicator in my experience that when Bitcoin pumps a lot and then you see Bitcoin kind of stall out and altcoins start pumping like crazy, in my opinion, that's a surefire way to tell that Bitcoin's run out of momentum in the short term, guys. That is a story that we see over and over. Bitcoin pumps a lot, kind of stalls out for, a day or two, and then you see altcoins across the board also blowing up. That is exactly a very, very good indicator that Bitcoin is most likely headed for a downturn, right? In the short term, guys. Ultimately, mid and long term, like we said yesterday, this thing is going to keep going up, in my opinion. But yeah, this is just the natural process of it. We cannot just continuously pump and pump and pump without any drops at all. And as well, Joseph Young's 4 on-chain metrics suggesting a Bitcoin price rally. Now, again, his article is basically invalidated here. He posted it like 4 or 5 hours ago, so I don't think it's super valid now, but these reasons are valid. Okay, I think once we do recover, this is exactly why we'll probably keep going up. The number of Bitcoin held on exchanges dropping, unmoved Bitcoin supply spikes, no clear signs of a top. I want to see what he says here. The number of weak hands or speculative buyers have noticeably declined while stronger hands have strengthened. Quoted here, while local maximums for weak hands trend downwards, we cannot confirm that the recent speculative base increase has formed a top. With that said, the larger trend suggests stronger hands are populating short-term age. So again, I agree that we're going to keep going up in the mid to long term, but I do think over these next few days, we're going to keep getting this pullback that we were talking about yesterday. And then also unrealized Bitcoin profits. This is interesting. The price of Bitcoin peaked at around 14,000 last summer in 2019. Glassnode chief technical officer said Bitcoin's relative unrealized profit hit 0.64. Currently, despite the price of Bitcoin being above 15K, this profit is at 0.53, and it shows Bitcoin has the potential to see a broader rally before a strong pullback. And again, I guess that's already invalidated because as we were talking about yesterday, a pullback, this was posted 4 hours ago, and we are getting a pullback. And again, like I said, I think we're going to find support at the areas we talked about, but we haven't hit those levels yet. So I still think we're going to keep going down for the time being. Huge. So if you guys are new to the channel, as always, make sure to subscribe. Let's hit 13K likes. Let's hit 1,300 likes and we'll pick a winner in the next webisode. And as well, guys, if you're interested in trading and you have experience only and you want to support the channel, make sure to take advantage of 30% trading fee reduction with USDT up to $540 of free trading bonuses using my link below. Details are in the description and in the pinned comment.